I'm going to start my talk here today by asking a question to the room. And the question is, who here believes that they are an underdog? Call it imposter syndrome, not getting to where you want to be in life at the right time. Maybe feeling underqualified or underexperienced. I'm sure we've all felt it, even just the once. I know I have. And I'm going to get back to that, but I want you to have a think. Now, who knows who these people are? Mr. Beast, IShowSpeed, and the Sidemen. I'm sure a few of you do. But what you might not know is that these guys, they're underdogs. At least, they very much once were. See, Mr. Beast counted to 100,000 for 60 hours straight in his bedroom just to make one YouTube video. In fact, he made 460 of those videos before he'd even hit 10,000 subscribers. It might have been weird, probably a little bit cringe, but it was all in the pursuit of a career in YouTube. And now he's the most subscribed person on the planet. That's over 430 million subscribers. If Mr. Beast was a country, he'd be a pretty big one. Not only that, he's got his own show on Amazon Prime, and he's selling his chocolate bars and burgers across the whole of the US and more. And IShowSpeed, the guy that streams in his bedroom and barks at people for a living. Well, he just became the mayor of the capital of Peru for a day. He's hanging out with the footballing greats, and he's considered to be one of the largest streamers in the world, if not one of the most famous faces on the internet at the moment. But what he really is an underdog. See, like Mr. Beast, Speed didn't come from money, and nor did he have any pre-existing fame. And the Sidemen, the group of friends that play video games in their bedroom together and play hide and seek for content. Well, they just launched a multi-season show on Netflix and sold out Wembley Stadium for the Sidemen charity match. In fact, at the time they sold all 90,000 seats out, there was still 140,000 people waiting in line trying to get theirs. That was just in 2.5 hours, may I add. And only after 10 years of them grinding it out, making videos together. These are just a few of the insane success stories that are coming out of the creator space. And it makes me beg the question, is it just me, or are you noticing a shift as well? A shift in just how influential these people are becoming. A shift into the mainstream. So much so that in a study done by Lego, they found that becoming a YouTuber is the #1 thing that kids want to be when they grow up. That's more than astronauts, more than F1 drivers, more than movie stars. So who am I? Well, my name is Henry White, and I'm the creative director of the Sidemen. And for the last 4 years, I've been working alongside an amazing team to turn these YouTubers into fully fledged brands. Prior to that, I was working for global esports team Fnatic. And so whether in the gaming industry or the YouTube and entertainment space, I've been working with people that are turning their childhood bedroom hobbies into brands that are now competing at a global level. See, whether you like them or not, these TikTokers, YouTubers, content creators, these underdogs, they've broken into the mainstream media space. Perhaps they were once destined to reach the top of YouTube, but now it seems to have gotten so much bigger than that. And mainstream brands and celebrities from all over the world, they all want in on the action. So how is this happening? And from a creative perspective, what is enabling these people to become the brands of tomorrow? Well, a key theme that I've found to be intrinsic in their success, and what I'd like to speak to you about today, is the power of the creative underdog. And of course, I wouldn't be doing my job properly in this day and age if I didn't break it down into 3 digestible key pillars. So, what is the first superpower of being an underdog? Well, in the world of the underdog, there are no rules. You can be a mad scientist. Actually, it's the best thing you can be. Come up with ideas, pull them apart, and put them back together again. With no rules, you can be curious with such little scrutiny. Why? Because there's no expectations, no precedent set, no rule book in place. And so you can try things, test things. And after all, the more darts that you throw, the more likely it is that you're going to be able to hit the bullseye. The more likely it is that you're going to find that winning formula that brings you success. What would take brands months and even years, and full strategy teams, can be as easy as going with a gut feeling for some of these creators. At the core of the Sidemen's success is their ability to try new ideas. Whether that's in the content they create or the brands that they've started. But this also is now developing into their personal endeavors. Vic wants to start a sunglasses brand and try his hand at becoming a DJ. Well, why not? Actually, he just played Tomorrowland. KSI wants to become a boxer. Well, I think you know how that one goes. The point is, these guys move without hesitation. No rules means that they can venture into new spaces. And because people are already invested in them as individuals, the chance is no matter what it is that they do and where they go, people are going to want to stick along for the ride. Which brings me on to point 2, and that's all about authenticity. See, in a more corporate setting, your ideas, your visions, they're only as good as your senior team will allow them to be. I've seen amazing concepts, amazing pitches get completely diluted. By the time it's passed through the multiple corporate structures, the end result feels weak, void of any personality. Whereas for the underdog, the creator, who's often operating with a very small team or just by themselves, what they produce ends up falling so much closer to the audience they're trying to reach. Where their trials, tribulations, failures, and successes, it all becomes part of their lore. And people want to see that. People want to be part of it. It's funny, at the beginning of this talk, I gave a few stories, and they all start with the same theme. They all start in the same place, and that's their bedroom. It all starts in the bedroom for these success stories. It's almost humbling. But most importantly, it's incredibly relatable to an audience. It's authentic. And so what is the third superpower? Well, that's that it's okay to copy. You're allowed to as an underdog. I'm not talking about stealing work. I'm talking about faking it till you make it. And because people are also perceiving you as an underdog, it's okay to fake it. Take the Sidemen movie posters. We took a Hollywood staple and we brought it to YouTube. As our production value grew and we wanted to further our marketing, we looked to Hollywood. We copied Hollywood. We thought, what if we marketed every YouTube video that went out on our main channel, on our Sidemen Sunday, like it was a Hollywood movie, like it was our favorite Marvel film about to drop? And so 3-4 years later, since having that idea, we've produced teasers, posters, and trailers, sometimes all the above, every single week, just for a single YouTube video. And we're still doing it to this day. Actually, it's become a bit of an industry standard in YouTube. See, these formulas, these successful formulas, they've already been created in almost every industry. So it's up to you to identify them, copy them, and tweak them to suit your own audiences. And you might think, well, hold on. Copying is cheating. How do people allow this? Well, once again, people love an underdog. This was a comment I saw a little while back on one of the Sidemen Instagram posts, and I thought it summarized it perfectly. Their success feels personal. Someone wrote that off their own back, and quite a few people agreed. Their success feels personal. Have you ever felt that a brand's success feels personal? Because I don't think I have. See, we're not talking about being a brand here. We're talking about being a friend. It's not the same when people have seen you come from your bedrooms and rise to the top. It's not the same as if a brand did it. And so when we're talking about allowing someone to cut a few corners and take inspiration from other industries, are we going to allow these guys, your friends, or a corporate media conglomerate? Well, I think I know who I'm choosing. So here's the bottom line. Your size enables you to pivot quickly and try new things with no rules. Your lack of structure means that you come across raw and uncensored to your audience in the most authentic way. And your backstory means that people are rooting for you from the get-go, even if you're cutting a few corners. Now, I've talked a lot about underdogs. But as these creators grow and build out their brands, how do you balance this personable appeal whilst venturing further into the professional space? Perhaps you become less of an underdog. From a creative and design perspective, I've had to learn the importance of this balance. As a brand, you want to be able to do both. You want to elevate your brand through polished, professional design. But this isn't art, and nor is it corporate. See, gone are the days of vigorous brand books and strict design guidelines. At times you need them, but at times you need to be flexible, break rules, and not take yourself too seriously. At the Sidemen, we have a sort of hybrid, smart, casual brand approach. In one breath, we're making try not to piss challenge videos for content. And in another, we're selling out Wembley Stadium and making it look amazing when we do so. It's all about knowing when and how to employ yourself as a professional brand and when not to. What this contrast does, when you go from personable to professional, it has a much larger impact. It's like seeing that mate who's always in his joggers, finally dressed up nice in a nice suit. There's an oh shit moment when we clean up our act. And our fans, they're happy for us. They're proud of us because our success feels personal. It's interesting now to see brands clock on to the importance of this contrast. And where traditionally brands have always had their suits on, we're seeing certain brands recede back to their bedrooms in search for this youth and personality. Those brands that are brave enough and bold enough are realizing they're being rewarded for showing this personality. I don't know if you've seen Loewe's TikTok, but it's a perfect example of this. A luxury fashion house. Typically, you'd expect a brand of this nature to be producing highly stylized ads. Well, think again. They're jumping on TikTok trends, working with small creators, and shooting all their content on phones. And it all begs the question, how did this get approved? But people love it. This was a comment on one of their latest posts. And they're reaping the rewards for showing this personality, with their viewership through the roof. I consider it to be the progression of lifestyle advertising. See, you no longer want to be a brand to your audience. You want to be a friend. You get to choose what type of friend that is, of course, but it's all about creating that meaningful, long-lasting connection. And so when I asked you at the beginning of this talk, who here feels like an underdog? If the answer was no, well, you could probably benefit from thinking a little bit more like one. And if the answer was yes, well, I hope you can now see it as a liberating superpower. Thank you very much.